So let's continue with chapter 8, body movements. In the previous class we studied some kind of joints, right, in our body. Next we are going to study about the further part of this chapter. So as you can see, the bones of our body, they are arranged in a framework and they give a shape to our body. This framework is called as the skeleton. So what is the skeleton? Skeleton is the arrangement of bones in our body such that they give a specific framework to our body. And as you can see, okay, how do we know that there is a skeleton and the skeleton is the shape of our human body? So some ideas about the shape and the number of bones of our body parts we can obtain by feeling them. Just if we touch them, we can feel about that. Okay. The other way is by the X-rays. Okay. When X-rays are taken, X-ray images, we can see the kind of bones, okay, that are present in our human body. So, in the picture you can see the skull. Okay, this is a picture of the skull. Skull, the bones of the brain and the head. Okay, the skull is made out of many bones. These bones are joined together, and what it does, it is the most important part of the body. It protects the brain. Okay, that's why the skull is very important. Next, you can see in some animals or some kind of animals like earthworms. Okay, earthworms, the body of the earthworm, it is made out of many rings. These rings, they are joined together end to end. Okay, an earthworm does not have any bones and it has only muscles. Okay, instead of the bones, the earthworm is having only muscles. Right? So, what does it do? It moves in a special kind of way where it extends the front part of the body and then it fixes the front end and releases the rear end. Shortens the body and it pulls the body. So, this process is continuous, and actually the earthworm, it moves through the soil, and what does it do? Its body throws the undigested part of the material that it eats, and this actually becomes very useful for the plants. Similarly, you can see the picture of the snail. The snail carries something on its back, right? We call it as the shell. So what is this shell? Shell is a thick structure, and what happens? The snail, whenever any danger is there, it moves in the shell. This snail has very strong muscles. Okay, when you take a razor blade and you cut the skin of the snail, it does not cut. So much hard it is. So strong its muscles are. Right? So, you can, in the morning also you can see its movement. It's very slow. The movement of the snail, it is the slowest animal. And its skin is, or its muscles, it's very strong. So it carries its shell, which is its house, on its back. Third picture, you can see the cockroach. So we can see cockroaches can walk, they can fly, they can climb, right? So they are having 3 pairs of legs and they walk. But what happens? The body of this cockroach is covered with a hard outer skeleton. Okay. And because of this, it is able to move. The cockroaches also have distinct kind of muscles. Okay, and that's why they are able to move very fast. Even their wings, it allows the cockroaches to fly very easily. Right? That is what happens in the cockroaches. Now, you can see different kind of bones of our body, right? If you take a deep breath and you hold it, what do you feel? You feel your chest bones and the backbone. You can feel it, right? So you can count the number of ribs. So we see that the ribs, these are continuously bent. That's why we call it as a rib cage. It forms a cage-like structure. The chest bone, these are called as the rib, and it is called as a rib cage. It forms a cage-like structure. It is forming a cage-like structure, and that's why we call it as a rib cage. Similarly, the backbone, right? You can see the picture of the backbone. So, when you stand up, you notice two bones that are standing near a shoulder region. These we call it as the shoulder bones. And then we have the pelvic bones also that protects our stomach. So, each and every portion of the bones, they protect different kind of delicate organs of our body. Chest bone, it protects the lungs and the heart. Shoulder bones, it protects the movement of the arms. Backbone, it protects the spinal cord. It's a part of the brain. Pelvic bone also protects the stomach and the organs lying below the stomach. Similarly, the skull, it protects the brain. So, the bones protect different kind of bones that are present in different regions of our body. They protect different kind of organs of our. Now, if you feel in the upper part of the ear, okay, if you touch it, it is not as soft as the earlobe. Okay, earlobe is where the region where the girls, they are wearing their earrings. So above that part, if you are touching the upper part of the ear, it is not very soft, right? So that is not as hard as a bone also. So this is called as the cartilage. So what is a cartilage? Cartilage are some additional parts of the skeleton that are not as hard as the bones and that can be bent. Cartilages are giving support to the different parts or different kind of organs, but they are not as hard as a skeleton. We can bend it. Okay, so such kind of structures we call it as the cartilage. Cartilage is also found in different joints of our body, right? In the next picture, you can see that our body is not only composed of a skeleton. Over the skeleton, there is a layer which we call it as a muscles. Okay, if you make a fist with one hand and you bend your arm at the elbow and touch your shoulder with the thumb, you see near your upper arm, okay, there is one swollen region. This we call it as the muscle. Muscles are not only present at the shoulder region but different parts of our body. Muscles are bulged due to contraction. Okay, otherwise usually it remains smaller in size. So, muscles help in running, walking and all such kind of action. When contracted, the muscle becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker and it pulls the bone. The importance of these muscles is that muscles work in pair. Okay, when one of them contracts, the bone is pulled. The other muscle, when it is relaxed, the bone also relax. So, the speciality of the muscle is that the muscle can only pull. It cannot push. The two muscles have to work together to move a bone. Okay. So let us see further. So now on the screen, what you can see is the skeleton of a bird. Birds also fly in air and they walk on the ground. Some birds like ducks and swans also swim in the river. So why do birds fly? Because their bones, they are hollow and they are light. Right? So bony parts of the forelimbs of these birds, they are modified as wings. And that's why what happened? They are able to fly. Similarly, in the case of fishes, fishes have a streamlined body shape. Okay, because of this, what happened? Water can flow around the fishes easily, and because of this, the fish can move easily through the water. Mainly, the muscles plays a very important role in the movement of these fishes. Right? So the tail also and the body curve, okay, they help the fish in movement, further movement in the further front portion of the water. Okay, and so fishes also have fins. These fins also help them in movement. Now, how do snakes move? Snakes, as you know, they slither. Right? Snakes have a very long backbone and they have many thin muscles. These muscles are connected to each other. So muscles also interconnect the backbone, ribs and the skin. The snake's body curves into many loops. You can see in the picture, it forms the loop. And each loop of the snake, it gives a forward push. Because of this, the snake is able to slither in a forward direction. Mainly, the movement of the snake is possible because of the very high muscular action. Okay. So, you can see in the fishes, because of the streamlined body, you can see they move further. Their muscular action is also strong, right? So, with this I am ending today's YouTube class. Next, waiting for the online class. In the online class, we will be discussing the further part of this chapter along with the question answers related to this topic. Okay? Waiting for you in the online class.